My fiancée said, "I'm just better with money than most people." I believed her completely. When I discovered her $120K hidden debt, I told her, "You're absolutely right about being better with money," and canceled our $80K wedding. She begged me not to tell our families who were helping pay for it, but I forwarded them her bankruptcy paperwork instead. Here's how I found out about the lies. Thursday afternoon, our wedding venue called and said we're denied due to her defaulted student loans. "Sorry, but we can't approve your application. There are significant delinquent debts that make you high risk." I'm standing there confused as hell. Jessica's right next to me and she just went pale, like actually pale. Started stammering about mistakes and identity theft, but I could see panic in her eyes. See, Jessica always bragged about paying off her student loans early. "I'm just better with money than most people, that's why I paid everything off years early." She'd show me screenshots of big payments, saying, "There goes another chunk." Looking back, the job hopping should have been a red flag. 4 companies in 2 years. She'd always come home excited about moving up or getting better opportunities. Marketing coordinator to senior marketing specialist to marketing manager. Each time she'd celebrate with expensive dinners that I'd end up paying for. "I'm climbing the ladder so fast because I'm actually good at what I do," she'd say. Unlike most people who just coast. I thought I was dating someone ambitious. Turns out she was just staying ahead of wage garnishment orders. That night I couldn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I grabbed my phone and checked our credit monitoring app. My profile looked fine. Jessica's showed $120,483 in defaulted student loan debt. Defaulted 2 years and 3 months ago. 2 damn years. She'd been lying basically our entire relationship. Friday morning, I confronted her during our cake tasting appointment, because apparently we're still pretending we're having a wedding. "Jess, what's going on with your student loans?" She froze with red velvet cake halfway to her mouth. "What do you mean?" "I mean the $120K in defaulted debt on your credit report." The cake fell off her fork. Started crying right there in this upscale bakery with classical music playing and other couples looking at wedding cakes. "I can explain. I was gonna tell you. I just needed more time." "You've had 2 years to tell me." "It's not that simple. I tried to handle it myself. I didn't want to burden you." "Burden me? We're supposed to get married in 4 months. The baker came back with more samples and immediately sensed the tension. We just sat there in silence while he explained buttercream flavors. "More time? You've had 2 years, Jessica. Took an hour in my car to get the truth. She never paid off anything. Those screenshots of big payments. Transfers between checking and savings that she'd reverse the next day. But here's the kicker. That wedding fund she'd saved. $25,000 from cash advances on maxed-out credit cards. "I was gonna use wedding gift money to get caught up," she said. "People give like $20K in cash at weddings." She was planning to pay off her lies with money our families gave us to celebrate our marriage. Monday morning, I called in sick. We spent the day going through everything. Credit card debt was $35K across 4 cards, all maxed. Original student loan was $87K, but with 2 years of penalties it was over $130K, and they'd started legal proceedings. Legal proceedings. She got served for wage garnishment 3 months ago, quit her job the next week. Tuesday afternoon I made a list of wedding deposits. Venue, $5K. Photographer, $2K. Florist, $800. Caterer, $3,500. Most from her credit card cash advances. Wednesday morning, I get this text from our friend Mike. "Hey man, weird question, but did Jessica mention borrowing money from other people? Sarah just told me she lent her $1,500 last month for some emergency." My stomach dropped. Started making calls. "David, $800 for car repairs 6 weeks ago. She said her transmission was going out and she needed it fixed to get to work." I felt bad because she always talked about how responsible she was with money. "Lisa, $1,200 for medical bills. She told me she had some dental emergency and her insurance wouldn't cover it. I even offered to go with her to the dentist for support." Emma, $2K for helping her mom. She said her mom was behind on rent and might get evicted. I thought it was sweet that she was helping family. Each person thought they were the only one. Each got a different sob story tailored to what would make them most likely to say yes. David loves cars, so she picked car trouble. Lisa works in healthcare, so medical emergency. Emma's close with her family, so family crisis. Total, 6,500 borrowed from friends with zero intention of paying back. Thursday, Jessica's mom calls me. Ryan, honey, we got the strangest call from some debt collection place asking about Jessica and a wedding venue. Something about co-signing, damn. When we applied for the venue, Jessica listed her parents as references. When our credit check failed, venue reached out asking if they'd co-sign. Her parents had no clue. Far as they knew, she was debt-free. Her dad went quiet for a long time. We've been saving to help with this wedding, 2 years of putting money aside. They'd saved $15K to help their daughter celebrate what they thought was a fresh start. Friday, the vendors started calling. Catering company first, we need the remaining balance paid in full. Our credit services flagged concerns. Remaining balance, $8,500, due immediately. Then photographer. I'm sorry, but we're going to need full payment before the wedding date. Company policy for high-risk clients. Then florist. Can you come in this week to discuss payment options? We need to secure the order. Then DJ. Even the damn DJ wanted money up front now. Then the dress shop called. Miss Johnson, we need to discuss your final payment schedule. One by one, every vendor demanding full payment up front. Word travels fast in the wedding industry apparently. They all use the same credit checking service. Jessica completely broke down. I can fix it. I just need more time. Time to do what? She owed more than we made in 2 years. Saturday morning, we met with a bankruptcy attorney instead of doing dress fittings. The lawyer reviewed Jessica's paperwork for 20 minutes without saying anything, finally looked up. This is a straightforward Chapter 7 case. Most of this unsecured debt will be discharged. What about the wedding? Jessica asked. The lawyer looked confused. You're planning a wedding during bankruptcy proceedings. We already put deposits down. Ma'am, large expenditures during bankruptcy get scrutinized heavily. An $80K wedding definitely qualifies as a luxury expense. But we've been planning this for months. The bankruptcy trustee will want to know why you're spending $80,000 on a party when you owe $150,000 to creditors. Jessica started crying again. So what are our options? Cancel the wedding entirely, or have a very small courthouse ceremony under $2,000 and hope the trustee doesn't object? What about our deposits? Those are gone either way. You can't use bankruptcy to pay for wedding expenses. Our options: cancel entirely or small courthouse ceremony. Jessica stared at the floor the whole drive home. Update 1. Monday I went back to work. Around lunch, Jessica calls crying. The venue called, they're keeping our deposit and canceling. $5,000 gone. And caterer wants their money by end of business or they're canceling too. Ryan, can you ask your parents for help just to get through this? I hung up. She was still asking other people to pay for her lies. That evening I called David, Mike, Lisa, and Emma. Asked them to meet at a bar. Laid it all out. Hidden debt, bankruptcy, pattern of borrowing with different stories. David was the first to speak. Wait, she told me she was financially responsible, like she'd lecture me about my spending habits. She criticized my credit card debt last month, Mike added. Said I needed to be more disciplined like her. Lisa was furious. $1,200 for medical bills. I felt guilty for months thinking she had health problems. I even brought her soup when she said she was recovering from the procedure. What procedure? Emma asked. Exactly, there was no procedure. Emma looked stunned. She told me her mom was about to be evicted. I stayed up all night worried about Jessica's family being homeless. Her mom lives in a paid-off house, I said. We sat there for a minute processing how extensive the lies were. So we're all out money we'll never see again, David summarized. And she's been lying to literally everyone for years, Lisa added. They all wanted their money back but understood it wasn't happening soon. Tuesday, Jessica's parents came over. They'd spent the weekend with their financial advisor and doing their own research. We looked up everything online, her mom said. Student loan default, credit reports, all of it. We had no idea it was this bad. We can't enable this anymore, her dad said. We love Jessica, but we can't keep bailing her out. You've bailed her out before, I asked. Her parents looked at each other. The security deposit for her apartment 2 years ago, car repairs last year, emergency dental work 6 months ago. All lies. I'd been to her apartment. She never paid a security deposit because she moved in with a roommate who already lived there. I'd seen her dental checkup results perfect teeth. The car repairs were probably just regular maintenance she didn't want to pay for. How much? I asked. About $8,000 over the past 2 years, her dad said quietly. Turns out this wasn't the first time. They'd helped with emergencies multiple times. What they thought were one-time problems were consequences of her debt spiral. The wedding money we saved, we're putting it toward professional counseling instead, her mom said. Real help, not another band-aid. Jessica started crying. So you're giving up on me too? We're not giving up, but we're not pretending this isn't happening anymore. Ryan's abandoning me and now you are too. Honey, her mom said, Ryan didn't abandon you. You lied to him for 2 years. Wednesday I called my parents, told them everything. Do you want to stay with her? Dad asked. I didn't know. Because if you do, you both need professional help. This isn't just about money. They offered to help whatever I decided, but weren't contributing to any wedding until Jessica got help. By Thursday, word spread through our friend group. People comparing notes, figuring out who else got asked for money. Turns out Jessica borrowed from 8 people over the past year, between $300 to $2K each, total over $9K. Our group chat split into Team Jessica and Team Ryan. Worst part was people asking if I knew, like maybe I was part of some scheme. Did you know she owed David money when you asked him to be groomsman? No, I didn't know she owed anyone money. Felt like I was defending myself for being lied to. Friday morning, Jessica didn't go to work. When her manager called, she admitted everything and quit over the phone. Later, I found out the full story from her coworker who I'd met at office parties. The garnishment order had been served to HR the week before. They called Jessica in for a meeting about it. She tried to claim it was identity theft, the coworker told me. Said someone must have taken out loans in her name, but HR said the paperwork showed the loans were from years ago before we even hired her. So she quit rather than deal with it. She had to. The garnishment was for 25% of her paycheck. With her salary, that would have been like $600 per pay period. How long had you known about the money problems? We didn't know specifics, but she was always asking to borrow lunch money or gas money. Small amounts. Made it seem like she just forgot her wallet. There'd been a garnishment order served the week before. She was planning to quit anyway, but the collection agency was getting aggressive. Without income, she couldn't contribute to household expenses anymore. Her half of rent, utilities, groceries all fell to me. And she still owed vendors thousands for a wedding that was never happening. Update 2. Next week, Jessica started getting calls from debt collectors. They wanted to settle before bankruptcy. One offered to settle $87K in student loans for $35K if paid in 30 days. We could ask our parents, she suggested. Maybe they could loan us settlement money. Jessica, you want our parents to give us $35K to pay off debt you hid for 2 years. It's better than bankruptcy. My credit would recover faster. She still didn't get that this wasn't about credit scores. Going through Jessica's paperwork, found something worse. She'd been paying $400 a month for useless supplemental insurance because the salesman said it would help her credit score. $400 a month, while borrowing from friends for emergencies. But that wasn't all. I found a folder of credit card applications she'd been denied for over the past year. Dozens of them. Store cards, gas cards, anything she could apply for trying to get more credit. And bank statements showing overdraft fees almost every month. She'd been living paycheck to paycheck while telling everyone she was financially responsible. There was even a notebook where she'd written down different stories for borrowing money. Car problems, David and Mike, car guys. Medical, Lisa, nurse, sympathetic. Family emergency, Emma, close to family. She'd literally planned out who to manipulate based on their personalities. Jessica's parents found a financial counselor who specialized in debt crisis. Offered to pay if Jessica committed to going. Counselor's first recommendation after reviewing everything: complete financial transparency with everyone affected. Secrets about money, this significant kill relationships, she told us in the one session I attended. Trust has to be rebuilt from zero. But I've already told everyone the basics, Jessica protested. No, you've told everyone pieces. Ryan still doesn't know how long you've been planning to use wedding gift money. Your friends don't know how many other people you borrowed from. Your parents don't know about the fake bank transfers. I can't tell them everything, they'll hate me. They might, but they definitely can't trust you if you keep controlling what they know. Jessica balked. Didn't want to tell friends exactly how much she owed or admit to family how long she'd been lying. They don't need to know everything. This is exactly the thinking that got you here, the counselor said. You keep deciding what other people need to know about their own lives. Even in therapy, still trying to control the narrative. 3 weeks after venue cancellation, final bills came in. Photographer keeping $2K deposit but waiving rest. Florist wanted another $1,200 or collections. DJ willing to work something out for $500 immediately. Caterer wanted full $8,500. Jessica begged me to help negotiate. You're good with numbers, maybe work out payment plans. But I was done being her financial cleanup crew. After a month of crisis management, I made my choice. Packed my stuff, moved back with parents, told Jessica I needed space. Honestly, though, I already knew wasn't just the money, was years of lies, manipulation of friends, willingness to let families pay for her deception. Most of all, her continued belief that other people should solve her problems. Final update: Jessica filed bankruptcy 6 weeks later. Most debt got discharged, but credit destroyed for 7 years. The bankruptcy trustee did question the wedding expenses during the hearing. Jessica had to explain why she'd been planning an $80K wedding while owing $150K to creditors. The trustee was not impressed. Miss Johnson, this shows a pattern of financial irresponsibility that concerns the court. All the vendor deposits were considered fraudulent transfers since she'd used credit card cash advances. The trustee made her provide documentation for every wedding expense. Moved back with parents, got part-time retail job at a department store. 26 years old, living at home, working retail, credit destroyed. Supposed to be in financial counseling, but from what I hear through her sister, she misses more sessions than she attends. Still blames everyone else for her situation. Friend group still weird. Some stayed in touch, others didn't. David and Mike are civil but distant when we all hang out. Lisa won't speak to her at all and leaves group events if Jessica shows up. Emma tried to maintain the friendship for a while but gave up after Jessica asked to borrow money again 3 months later. Jessica's parents are paying back the friends she borrowed from, little by little. They felt responsible even though they didn't know what was happening. They've paid back David and Lisa in full, still working on Emma's 2K. Her dad told me later they spent their entire wedding savings fund on paying back her debts to our friends. We couldn't let innocent people suffer for our daughter's choices. I'm still with my parents, saving money, rebuilding goals. Wedding fund I saved is going toward house down payment just for me. I don't hate Jessica. Think she got overwhelmed, then got in too deep to find a way out. But I can't build a life with someone who thinks lying is a viable strategy. Thanks for support and advice. This was therapeutic to write even though painful to relive. Hope sharing helps someone recognize warning signs earlier than I did. Edit. People asking about legal stuff since we weren't married. I'm not liable for her debt. Wedding vendor debts are in her name. I lost about $3K in deposits, but that's way better than being legally tied to someone with 6-figure debt and deception history.